Are you guys surprised? Elon Musk has sold another 22 million shares of Tesla, which equals $3.7 freaking billion. I mean, how else is he going to be funding this Twitter deal, right, guys? And according to the SEC, which this filing came out last night, Wednesday night, well, I guess depending on when you're watching this video, but it recently came out, right? And according to that filing, he sold these shares from Monday to Wednesday of this week that I'm filming this video. So as the markets are going, right, as Tesla's doing what Tesla's doing, Elon is dumping shares. He's selling. And according to these, well, before we actually dive into these numbers, guys, if you all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all as always. And if you want some free stocks from Moo, you know what to do. Go down below, get up to 20 stocks, each up to $2,000. Let's dive into the video. So like I said, guys, he sold 22 million shares of Tesla between Monday to Wednesday, right? And that was this time period pretty much right here. You guys see on the chart here on the 5-day, 5 minutes. So think about it. Monday to Wednesday, beginning of this week was what? The 12th of December, right? Look what Tesla stock did on these days. I mean, Tesla stock on Monday went from $178 to $167, so it lost $11 on this day, right? That was about 6%. And then the next day on Tuesday, it had a little bit of a pop in the morning. It went to about 176, but then it sold all the way to 156 at the low of the day. It went down 12% from peak to the the bottom there intraday in one day, right? That was in a couple of hours. I mean, not even a full trading day. So this time period here, and I'm assuming a lot of shares were dumped on Tuesday. I mean, look at the elevated volume on Tuesday, right? Massive volume spike. So that's when he was dumping. That's when he was selling the shares on these 2 days. And the thing is, guys, I think he said a couple months ago, oh, in the meantime, I'm going to be done selling Tesla stock, right? Who knows when he's actually going to be done, if he's ever going to be done. I mean, well, at some point he's going to have to stop selling until, I mean, he can't just sell everything, right? Unless he does do that, which who the heck knows, right? But at some point he's going to have to stop. But in the meantime, is he going to stop? I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it. I think he could be selling more Tesla stock in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and that is a big thing on Tesla shareholders' minds right now. The fact that he's been doing this, he said that he was going to stop selling Tesla, and he just keeps on doing it. He keeps on selling Tesla stock. So if I was a heavy Tesla shareholder, and honestly, I'm sure the Tesla shareholders that really believe in the company long term, they might be rooting for lower prices. I don't know. But, to be honest, I know a lot of them are pissed with what Elon is doing in a sense as well. So it could go either way. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But at this point, it's obviously hurting the stock price, what he's been doing with, well, him just selling the shares. And of course, with Twitter, everything going on with him, just being in the public eye heavily right now, in the media, he's pissing off a lot of people on the left side, the Democratic Party, right, which we're not going to get into in this video. I talked about that before in another video, but there's a lot going on right now. And for me, there could be more selling pressure in the short term, right? And funny enough, I mean, Tesla's up on the day today. It's up 1.1% when you'd think maybe it'd be going down, but it kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense that it's running up a little bit. Investors are probably like, oh, the cat's out of the bag, all right? Elon's been selling. Okay, we're not that surprised at the end of the day. Maybe let's see a bit of a rally. Maybe that's kind of what we're getting right now. And overall, if we do look at the 4-hour chart, bears are 100% in charge. There's no doubt about it. But we are a little bit oversold. I'm not going to lie. We just hit $150. We took out the 165 low that we were talking about just a couple of videos ago, guys. That was the low from the end of November. We took that low and, we took it out. We went $15 under it. So we're going to get some sort of relief rally at some point, right? Whether it's just what we just got, 151 to 158. Maybe it goes a little bit more to 165 again. But at some point, guys, I think bears are going to come in again. I do not think the red is over on Tesla stock. And, Elon, who knows, 3-6 months down the line, 9 months, news could come out that he sold another $4 billion worth of Tesla. And I don't even know how much Tesla shares he has left at this point. But I do know something that is insane. This is going to blow your minds, guys. According to a financial research firm, Verity Data, Musk has sold 94.2 million shares so far this year at an average price of $243 a share for pre-tax proceeds of approximately a little bit under $23 billion. So $23 billion. He has dumped a ton of Tesla. Again, let me reiterate this, at an average share price of $243. And do you guys see where the stock's at now? It's at $157. He has been, he made out like a bandit. Let's put it that way. He didn't sell at the top, which, I mean, you wouldn't expect him to. I mean, obviously, he was, you could argue, pumping the stock to get to that point. On Twitter, we're not going to get into that, but he got the stock to 400, which is great. It was obviously a bubble, still arguably is to some people. We're not going to get into that rabbit hole in this video, but it got to that point, and he got out at about 242, with the shares he sold. So, I mean, he didn't sell anywhere near the top, but look how much he's saved in losses, right? From 240, now it's at 158. It's dropped another 35%. I mean, he missed 35%. I mean, if he sold at the top at 400, he would have had that additional 35% because it went from 400 to 240 where his average shares were sold. But you got to realize this, and this is a lesson in and of itself, right? He lost that 35%, but he saved 35% by selling at 240 and not eating the 35% loss that Tesla has seen in the past couple of months, right? He saved that overall by selling where he did. And that's a lesson to people out there that maybe in a stock that they're down on and they're like, should I sell? It could always go down even more. And that's what we've seen with Tesla. And I think, like I said, and I've been saying this, I feel like it could come down even more. And Elon realizes that. That's why he's been selling. He's been, getting slowly out of, not out of Tesla, but just, getting money out of it for Twitter, right? To raise some cash. He needs cash for the Twitter deal. And we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, guys. A lot is going on in the short term. But those are some of my thoughts on what's going on. And I'm not sure if you've seen, guys, but the markets today are getting destroyed. S&P 500 is down 2% right now, holding on by a thread above $390 a share. And you can see that very clearly if I zoom in a little bit here on the 4-hour chart, guys. If 390 breaks, which again, we're holding on by a thread, we have a gap down potentially to the mid-low 380s, which is not good for the bulls. Triple Q, look at this. It is down 2.5% right now. And guess what? It is also holding on by a thread right around 278, 280, right? We're actually under 280 right now. Again, it's down about $7, 2.5%. So if Triple Q breaks 278, 273 is the next gap to fill on the downside. And who knows from that point? It could get even uglier from there. So keep that in mind, guys. Right now, things are not looking good. And it's only 10:40 a.m. We're only about an hour in. But it looks like markets digested that Fed meeting yesterday, the FOMC statement, the press conference. Looks like they're selling off. And really, the main reason is because interest rates are looking to be higher than expected, right? Or higher for longer than expected. That is one of the main catalysts, right? And who knows, that could end up sending us under these key points, 278 triple Q, 390 on SPY. So what do you guys think about everything that we've been talking about? Tesla, the markets, which we just covered very briefly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, I'd love to know. And of course, if you're finding value, hit that like button. And let me just look quickly here through some stocks. I mean, of course, as you'd realize, or as you'd assume, right? A lot of stocks are selling off. Snapchat's down 9%. We have Netflix down a good amount. Ulta's one that's coming down towards an interesting level for me, at least. I mean, it's not there yet, but it's starting to sell off towards the 180 SMA, which is right around 425, 430, 435, which you all can see that was also resistance back a couple months ago, right? You can see this was back in the end of May, early June, also throughout July, into August as well. So I'm thinking Ulta, if it comes down a little bit more, now it's at 455. Let's see if it comes down another 20 bucks, 10, 15, 20 bucks. That could be where I'd be looking personally to pick up some shares for a trade, because look, this stock has been outperforming. We've talked about it time and time again, and I feel like this outperformance potentially could continue. But then you could argue, to play devil's advocate, we're ending the year, we're near the end of the year. Maybe portfolio managers, they're going to shift some money around. Maybe they're going to look at their winners, cut some of the winners. If they're overweight Ulta now, they might sell it. So that could cause a sell-off heading into the new year. That's something I'm very aware of. But as of now, the way things are standing now, Ulta looks pretty decent, and for that reason, I'm watching it. But again, keep that risk in mind. A lot of these stocks that have been outperforming, sure, some managers like to let their winners run, and that's kind of how I like to run my personal portfolio, right? I like to, I don't like to, punish my winners by, cutting them short, and that's one thing that retail investors actually have. They have an advantage over people in Wall Street, right? Because these people on Wall Street that are managing money for, whoever, right? They're managing a bunch of money. They have things they have to do every single year, right? They have to meet these different targets. If they underperform, if they do this, if they do that, and they're very year by year by year, right? They're not looking at things. Sure, they may say they're long-term investors, but, and this is not for everybody, or not all the institutions, but they play it year by year in the sense that they have to compete with the other firms, because, if they underperform by 1%, maybe their client drops them and goes here. So it's very competitive. It's very year by year. And, if you're a retail investor like myself, like all you watching for the most part, right? If you're a retail investor trader, you don't have to do that. I mean, you don't have to answer to anybody. You don't have anybody calling you asking about, what are the returns this year? How's my portfolio looking? How's this looking? How's that looking? And you're not pressured to make any decisions. So, you can actually hold for years, right? And not have to worry about this, that, the third, right? But whatever. We're not going to get into that tangent. We already kind of did a little bit, but that is actually one advantage. One of the biggest advantages that retail has over, Wall Street. And I'm getting over the cold, guys. I'm actually feeling pretty dang good. My voice is still a little bit hoarse. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm pretty much over that cold. Hopefully in about a day or two, the voice gets back to normal. But yeah, Ulta looks pretty decent. Watching out for it, or watching it pretty closely. And Netflix is one that is selling off big time now, and one that I'm also watching. This is one that's been outperforming. We've talked about it, and right now we're at a very big level of support, right? We're right by the 180 SMA, which you all can see. We have held this point pretty much every time we've pulled back to it in the past couple of months, 2 months roughly, 2.5 months. You can see it here, right? 230 we held it, 255, 275, and right now we're at 295. We're pretty oversold also. So if we break, all right, that's not going to be good for the bulls, right? That's going to be a break of trend, but I have a feeling 290, 295 might hold on Netflix. We shall see, and then maybe it could be setting up for a rally. So overall, guys, that's it for the video. I'm going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and if you want some free money, get up to 20 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000. All you have to do is use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get some free money, and it also helps out the channel. You could also get 12 stocks from Webull, and if you guys want to check out my Patreon for all my charting throughout the day, call outs, exclusive access to me, that is linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.